But yeah, baby.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to Unsigned Berlin, and today we have Liam and Julius, and you are TreeTone Studios, representing this really awesome studio space, and also coming in with a track to show everybody. Yeah, so welcome guys.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Oh my god, you sound so sexy, bro. Damn, what a bass. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and that was the example snippet for you guys.
Banger, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amazing. We like it.
Production on point.
Yes.
And just to let you guys know, we're gonna do a switch off, right?
Yep.
Yep.
In the middle, so you're gonna see like a magic change of people. It's gonna be it's a special trick
Yeah.
See.
that we're gonna play on
Yes.
you.
Yeah,
So,
which is because you guys are three founders for
Yes.
the studio space.
Hence the tree.
hence the tree.
Exactly.
And the tree there too.
Yeah.
We were lucky for
Yeah.
them to bring us a gift today.
Yes, and beer as well.
And beer.
I mean,
Yes.
we haven't so far. No guests have done both of those things.
What?
So
Fuck off. That's actually, I have a question before I start this.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
yeah,
Of course
yeah.
you can.
Okay, because otherwise I would have to get some shit out of my system. But yes, it's Danish beer also, representing Scandinavia, Sweden, Denmark. Skål.
That's what we do.
Skål for fun.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
But still representing Berlin. Rio.
So
Let's go.
filled with meaning.
Steve.
Do you guys want to start off by talking a little bit about the studio space? What do you guys provide? What's from the client perspective, what are they paying for, and what do you guys do?
Yeah. So, I mean, a studio is pretty self-explanatory, right? But we have all gone to BIM. Some of us has dropped out. Some of us have not. Hence, actually, both of us have dropped out.
Yeah.
Good choice. Because I thought like it was really what I wanted to do, and I'm not very big at going to school. I'm actually extremely bad at it. Not so book smart. Can't even talk. But more, I've learned from experience, and that's kind of where I wanted to go, because I've done that my whole life. Just go straight into work and just experience it like that. And I think we all were kind of in the same mindset of like, this is the end goal anyways. We're gonna get a studio because that's why we want to be producers, right? Either you're an in-house engineer or you have your own studio. And we were lucky enough. I was just looking at eBay and just found like, this looks kind of sick, actually.
This space.
At Broken Bell Studios, Hohenschönhausen. Nice. Fucking great place. Yeah, it's a big space with 14 different studios in there, actually. But you hear fuck all unless you actually make music and sound in your studio, which is nice. But I think we did it because we know the situation at BIM also, and we thought we could be a little bit clever, maybe. And also just like I wanted to get into it and just like produce other people. That was like my most important thing. Taking some while, but that's how it is. Growing your own business, your own name. It's just like treating yourself as an artist. You have to roll it out in a good way, be ready for everything that comes. And I think for now we've just gotten everything ready in the backlog kind of stuff since September last year. And we're getting ready to receive people. We've already had a lot of people in the studio already, but like officially launching a website and our Instagram and stuff like this. Yeah. It's going to be soon.
Nice.
You want to say something?
Yeah. I pretty much agree with everything you say there.
Nice.
Do you guys think you're gonna turn this space into more of an event space as well, or most likely just keep it all for sessions at the moment? Do you have a future plan for any, like, becoming more of a community space?
Yeah, so there's no limitations,
No,
right?
no, for sure not.
I mean, you're a session musician. I'm not so much, so we come from different worlds. So we have different perspectives of everything. But I don't want to limit it. Like if people, because it's actually a great looking space. And I think aesthetically for like a live session, if you live stream it in there with your band, it would look sick. So for the time being, it's mostly going to be sessions, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
for sure.
Yeah, we're pretty open-minded to any type of music, right? Yeah,
Flexible. Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So with that, could you go into how you guys met and how you guys got the idea for the space?
Yeah. So if you can start it off.
Yeah.
You can hit it off, man. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I guess we both discussed the future of creating music, and we were both jumping off BIM, but we want to keep it going for sure.
Yeah.
And you found the space. It was like it was this or nothing, right? Like no.
Yeah, it was really like either we do this or we fuck off.
Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much.
It's because we're from countries where if you get like a job in supermarket, you still earn more than you would do here with a very basic job, you know. So money wise, which is always an issue, and I hate that, but you have to be able to pay rent to be able to survive and food on the table and stuff. So it's it was very important to put a deadline to everything, I think. And we did by saying, okay, I found this, should we do it? Okay, if we do it, then this is the deadline. This is when we stop.
The no
Start
plan
with
B
the-
mindset. You guys were like
Yes.
all in, let's do the work. We have no other thing. It has to work out. Which is a good
careful with the
thing
mic.
to be
Oh, yeah.
like. Yeah, it's a good mindset to have. I
It's
feel.
it's one thing to say it, but then another thing to do it. And I think my dad brought me up in the way of like, hey, you can do it, but just as long as you have like a plan B, you know, like something that you can fall back on. And it makes a lot of sense also, especially because he's German. So that's like the mindset, right? And it makes a lot of sense for me also. But at some point you start relying more on your plan B instead of your plan A, and then you fuck it up for yourself, right? And that's, I guess my dad also did that with his music, right? Because then he got kids, and then fuck living off music, otherwise we're how, right?
Yeah.
But then me personally, I had like an evening with Woody Woodstock, shout out, my boy. He was like, dude, I hear what you're saying, because I explained everything and like my life plan. And then he was like, dude, cool, but nah, it's not like, that's not it, man. Like if you have already given up, you've already like you might as well just stop now. If that's how you're gonna go into it, then that's not gonna work. For some people it is, but not for you. And then I was like, you know, like a few beers in, and I'm like, whatever, fuck you, man. And I can do this shit. But it kind of resounded with me, and I think I've just let it simmer for a little while. And then I think I actually like reached out to the guys and was like, okay, guys, if it doesn't happen before October next year, then I'm out. It's done. So that's just to put a deadline to it, because I think that's very motivational, to be honest. And I mean, you do have to have a job at the same time, but main focus and the heart should be with what you love to do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And for the studio in the future, do you see it becoming sort of a one-stop shop, if that's the term, where like musicians come in and you do the work, and then it's kind of like we're around and we have a good relationship, or more of like a house of like, these are the artists that are ours, where it's like, this is the community and very tied together with the artists?
Stole my question.
It's a very
Both,
good
right?
question. Yeah, I think both. We're all of us kind of looking for that one person that you can grow together with, because that's very meaningful as a producer, I think. I've always loved the relationship between a producer and a rapper, because I come from, that's my main music that I make. And I thought it was like such a symbiosis that has to be when two people can consistently work together, just like a band, of course, but with two people, less friction, and it's a little bit easier. But I think keeping it to one or the other, I think we all agree that it's too many limitations. Right?
Yeah, especially business-wise, if you're trying to get something off the ground and like.
If we just want to pay rent, man, fuck that. We need to just do work. I was just approached by a Danish death metal band, and I don't necessarily listen to it. I come from like the background of classical rock, but not growling. So, but it's interesting, and I do know that we have the skills to do it. So why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that changes the way you do promo for the studio then? Because I feel like if you kind of promoted it less but had it more by word of mouth and more of that smaller community, you would be like, yeah, I know somebody and it's a friend of a friend, versus like you pay for the space, you get what you get, and then, you know, it's paying the bills. Like, does that change how you promote it as a space, do you think?
No, no, not so much. It's music. Like if we can provide a space where people can come and like make what they like, translate what they have inside of them, then I think that's a beautiful thing. And like putting a price on it, you have to, because otherwise, I mean, sadly, sorry guys, wish we could do it for free, but we can't.
Yeah, but that's also a part of respect as well. Like
Yeah,
paying
I mean,
for work or paying for a space.
For sure, like
It's
if I see a
valuable.
beneficial, like I think if we see a beneficial partnership, then we're more likely to do something, because we also
Yeah.
resound with it. Like death metal, maybe not so much, but maybe we find like some singer or something that really just, whoa, let's do this, but let's do it proper, and let's not think about the money. But that's further down the line.
Yeah, I see.
Do you feel like you saw this as an option because of the increased presence of producers online? Where I feel like maybe 20 years ago, people didn't know what production was. People didn't know that this was even a thing you could do. And then now, I know I just thought of this because I think like a year and a half ago, I saw something, you posted something about the Kenny Beats Beat Battle.
Yeah.
And he's like very vocal about like, just get a studio, get a space where people can come through and you can work together.
Yeah.
Was that a part of the influence, or did you see the state of the scene here and see it as an option from that?
I think, do you have something?
Everybody want to be a producer today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. And coming from Copenhagen is big, but not big if you compare it to Berlin and London. And then the creative scene is also extremely concentrated, which can be very good, but everyone knows each other. So if you know this guy, then you definitely know that guy, and then you're already at the top of the chain.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know. But then coming to Berlin, main focus was just to study music, right? So music was already the main theme, and then you realize way more than you thought that holy shit, Berlin is creative as fuck. Like there's everyone is doing music. I just started a new job recently, and the 3 guys that I started with, everyone is doing music. Like a singer, dudes, DJs, like every weekend. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, there's networking everywhere, man. You can go to the fucking Dönerladen and talk to the dude, mit alles bitte, and yo, willst du auch auf den Track hoppen, man? Let's go, bro. Yeah, fucking, that's sick, man. Even my Spetti guy, Ronnie, man, shout out to him if he ever sees this. Man, he's a fucking baller, and he really wants to come to the studio because he has, like, bars. He's been writing just for fun, and I fuck with it, man. Let's give it a go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is something from doing this podcast where, I mean, obviously I started it with, I had like a list of, I think it was like 50 people where I was like, okay, I know we have guests for a year if we need to. But just from researching people, it's everywhere. Yeah. There's also a lot of stuff that is not on par of like what you're looking through, where there's a lot of people that are just doing it as a hobby, or people that just, it's not working, or it's not a genre that we're interested in either. But then there's a lot of super talented people that are just doing it like outside of the 9 to 5. And how have you guys found it searching through people, if you're doing that, or if it's more like a calling, like come to us if you want to, and then we'll discuss it?
I think we haven't really started the searching properly because we're not officially opened.
Right.
So we've had a lot of friends, all of us. The reason why I'm looking that way is because Cuba has arrived.
Yeah, he'll be on in a little bit.
He'll be on in a minute. Just wait for it. It's going to be saucy. So saucy. Man, all that Polish dressing on that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's you guys need to reel me in, man, because I'm very.
No, keep going.
If there's a fucking
it's
squirrel,
gonna be
I'll
clipped.
also point it out.
Squirrel.
What were we talking about?
Look like actively searching for people versus calling. But the studio is just opening now. So.
I think that's something that we talked about after we got the studio.
Right.
We were quite impulsive with the whole thing, and it's like, hey guys, I found this. We had some like some.
Because we had a deadline to get the contract signed.
Yeah. We had
That's
the
why
deadline.
It was like an instant decision.
Okay, we need to do it now, and then we just did it. We were like, okay, do you have enough money for this month? Yeah. Okay, fuck, we do it.
But you guys also, you were serious about it. It's like you.
I mean,
You
that is
really
also
do
that,
this, you know?
that plan A, plan B thing where I've also been looking for a studio space, but I've been like probably more selective with it in that I'm like, or actually less active with it, where there's a couple places I have my eye on, but haven't done it yet. And I think I was probably starting to look at a similar time to you.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are with a studio that has been not open, but functioning for a while.
Yeah.
For a good few months.
Yeah.
And clearly it's working.
Yeah.
That it's happening.
It's fucking happening, man. Mom, watch me. It's happening.
Oh my god.
Watch me.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I'm very happy that it's happening, and it fills my heart with joy when I get off work, and then I still have energy because that's like it kills you in the beginning, starting a new job or like just having 8 hours of focus on something that you really actually don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Although I like my job, but I like making music more. That's that's just the thing, and that's why I know that. It's definitely worth giving it a go, even though times are fucking hard. And getting to a new country, you guys know how it is. I mean, coming from the States is probably a little bit more complicated, but you're from the UK, so fuck, man.
Yeah.
You guys are from fucking Brexit shit, man. I just came from Denmark, and
I was
feel
here
like
before it got concrete, so I was lucky.
Okay,
Slipped in when it was allowed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
During that, 1600 years of talking about this shit, and they finally did it, man.
Yeah,
Stupid idiots.
exactly.
I'd love to get political.
Sorry,
here on
England.
that.
Sorry, I'm
It's
fucking
okay.
British.
But
I
it's
can do
actually
it, man.
okay.
Yeah, we've had like 3 prime ministers since I've been 18, and I haven't voted for any. I haven't been allowed to vote for any of them. So
It's terrible, man. Also politics. Fuck that.
yeah. But you mentioned your dad did music.
Yeah.
Did you have a lot of music growing up in your household as well?
Oh yeah. So much. My dad, he started making like classical rock music in a barn on the middle of fucking nowhere in Germany with his friends, and they put like egg baskets on the side of the wall just to soundproof it a little bit, and then they were there and fucking doing it, like recording it on the tape machine, 4-track. Fucking nice. And it kind of evolved, and like he met my mom, and then they moved to Bergen in Norway. For the people that don't know that, you should know that. It's a very beautiful place. Really recommend going. It's just expensive as fuck. But he went and he started getting into IT, but then also doing blues on the side. So he went to blues, and then after that we moved to Denmark, and all sorts of shit happened. And then at some point, I think he was just comfortable enough to get into music again, and then he entered into X Factor in Denmark.
Right.
And just before the live shows, he got kicked out because there's a very famous judge in X Factor, and he's very like, he's just a little penis, you know. Thomas Blackman, if you're watching, dude, I still remember you, man. Bold ass motherfucker. He chose 2 really terrible singers. One of them was actually good, but the other one was not so much. But that made my dad's career, because people heard him, and then Søren Andersen from Medley Studio in Copenhagen, it's a big studio, reached out and said, hey man, let's do it. I want to work. And then he released 2 solo albums after that. And he also got into music in Germany and stuff. It was good for him. Now he sells beer on Crete, so I guess the midlife crisis landed. Sorry, Dad. I love you, man. You're a fucking legend.
But he actually has like a little brewing.
Oh yeah. It's actually picking up a little bit now.
Cute.
So that's very cool. Yeah, I'm very proud of him.
Fun. Cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. And my mom is also she's a church singer, but at some point she stopped, but she still sang a lot, and she has a really beautiful voice. And I just remember I think she had the biggest influence for me, music-wise, in the sense of like showing me Jamiroquai, for example. Every time we had guests over. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. It was the guest music. It was like, okay, we're cooking up, and if I come home from school and I hear like, with a little L. Oh man. Okay, I know exactly what is gonna happen now. I'm gonna go into my room and fucking play World of Warcraft. But I actually enjoyed the music, and she really introduced me to a lot of other stuff than rock and roll, because that was my dad. And my sister, she has a beautiful voice too. She likes to sing, but in the bathroom and when no one knows that she's looking. But she's kind of been dabbling in like recording some stuff, and I really want to work with my sister. That would be super sick.
That'd be so cute.
Yeah.
And do all the members? Oh, sorry.
No, go.
Do all the members of TreeTone Studios have like come from musical family backgrounds, or?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
Not actually, no.
Same little.
Not my family, no. But they're all working, we say, like aesthetical, like with
Like creatives.
art
Creatives.
and creative stuff. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
That's surprising. As a session musician, it must have been like growing up, you were encouraged to play instruments or something, or how did that come about?
So my parents put me in a classical music school in a very early age. So I don't know if I had any choice there. I don't know.
Had the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I had this big saxophone. That was my first instrument. Yeah.
Cool.
So I studied this for like around 10 years, and then I keep going to jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that this is what I have an easy time doing. Like this is something I'm good at.
Yeah.
And can express myself through. Yeah, for sure.
Are you still very jazz oriented, or are you more just trying to do whatever is interesting?
I'm super open to all type. It's gonna be like based on my mood, kind of. If I create for myself, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll vibe with any type of music.
It's quite fucking crazy how flexible he is. You can put the hardest techno on, or like rock, or like Cuba shit.
Yeah.
And he's still able to do something.
He'll come on and explain.
You'll hear some shit. Well, you already did actually. They heard the banger we made the other day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
They haven't heard my solo.
Yeah, no. It's not for that.
Is that maybe a good note? We can have Cuba come on, and then you can talk about yourself, and then whatever little bits at the end.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, welcome, Cuba. The
Great being
third
here, guys.
The third branch of the TreeTone tree.
Yeah, the small one.
I mean, might as well. Same question. Growing up, did you have a lot of music in your household, and is that what kind of put you onto this path?
I mean, for me, was like the music that was played in a car, basically. So like my dad played guitar. Like he usually played at home, just like it's a couple chords, a little bits of singing.
Yeah.
But my same as Liam. Like my dad was more into rock genres. Like Rage Against the Machine was my favorite band. Then like Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course. All the old stuff, all the good stuff. Yeah. But then my mom, she introduced me to like first album produced by Timbaland, Justin Timberlake, Future Sex Love Sound.
Banging album.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was when I actually like discovered. Discovered like new things, and then I just started discovering, and just rolling with it.
Yeah, cool. And you guys also have a sample pack. We were talking about this just before getting going. That you're publishing, putting out there. What did the process behind that look like? Is it recorded live things?
The process was we actually went to the forest with the Zooms recorders, and we have I think 50 recordings that we already did like 3 of them. Yeah. Like a lot of samples from
types
those.
of nature sounds.
A lot of stuff to just reconstruct and turn into samples. But that's after the assessments, unfortunately.
For legal reasons.
Yeah.
And for that, are you doing it via your own hosted website, or trying to go via Splice, or what's the plan for that?
I'm gonna try to contact Katrina, she's coming to our sampling class, and maybe we'll reach out to her because she has the account on Loopmaster.
Yep.
So this just gives us an opportunity to send her whatever we have in the future. Mm-hmm. So we have the email, but definitely on YouTube or
Website
like
coming
whatever.
too.
Hey man,
For sure.
we can send it on the website.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find there's just for purely out of curiosity for different platforms, are there different standards you have to meet, different formats and everything, or is it pretty much just like here's a bunch of sounds with names, you can put them on?
Great question.
I mean, for me, a sample pack, like I learned that it's mostly sounding when it has a theme.
Yeah.
Like
Makes sense.
But I think for our first sample pack, it would like introduce us, right? We were talking about it to like also each of us will put 5 loops for like on our own,
Like drum
and
loops
then-
or like nature sound loops?
Melodic.
Or
I
melodic
think
loops?
whatever loops.
Yeah,
I think it's just like in a category. of
Almost like a
loops.
song starter pack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then 5 of them will be like just all 3 of us, and then also all the drum sounds separately. And
Nice.
With a nice variation for sure. Like
Did you guys have any references for this pack, or was it all just coming from you?
Mother Nature.
Just Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Scandi.
Yeah.
Right, a 6 hours train. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The boats go.
So
there.
you went to Denmark, I guess, to do it, or
Oh, yeah.
where did you go to?
No, we went to Grosse Mögelse.
Nice.
How do you remember how this was called, bro?
Because I was
Man,
checking
I was
on the
lost.
map.
It's a pretty funny name. Kind of easy to remember.
It's here in Germany, yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
okay.
It makes more sense, I feel
Yeah,
like.
that makes a lot of
And
sense.
then you and Liam are both producers, and then you're the session musician. How have you found balancing the production side of things between you two guys?
I think me and Liam had a good chemistry, like back when he was on the good side, FL Studio Gang, like in yeah. But we kind of made a couple beats together, and we like discovered that it actually works. And then what we are missing, we usually missing like samples, melodies to put the drums on.
Like light
And-
instruments?
This is what I'm
Yeah.
good at for sure.
Yeah.
Exactly, and with him, it's just like it could be automatic as a machine,
Right.
You know, just kind of
That's
samples.
interesting, though, that it's
Yeah.
like a collaboration per track thing and not like, okay, this is more your genre, you do it. Or like, if that makes sense.
I think still we do that
Right.
if we are making like genres that we know that we are good at. I mean, Liam will engineer then, or like I'll engineer if something is like if something fits me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and how's the equipment search been for setting up a studio? I assume there's a lot of like just trying to find, whether it's on Kleinanzeigen or whatever, trying to find opportunities to get equipment and not just like blow a massive budget that doesn't exist.
Choosing the right instruments too.
Yeah.
And like, what are you going to supply versus
Yeah,
what
we-
are people going to bring in?
Yeah.
We basically put everything that we already had.
Right. Just combine the.
So it worked out, and like definitely this is the main thing, just to invest in it, like get new gear, because that's what attracts people.
Yeah. I mean, that's the
Right.
value of a studio,
Yeah.
right? It's like, yes, there's the production, but you could hire that separately, like freelance.
Yeah.
But having a space, having equipment that you wouldn't otherwise have access to is.
But the vibe is definitely number one, I think, in the studio, and that's check.
Yeah. How's it going to look?
How it's gonna look.
It's gonna be like in a forest.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, that's cool. And it fits with
The sample pack.
sample pack,
Makes
fits
sense.
with the tree tone, the tree.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, it's all connected. I should have known because of earlier. Everything's all.
So what are you doing for that? I guess bringing in live plants.
The light plants more green. The
Yeah.
ceiling would.
I mean, we like
You could
it.
borrow from ours.
I had the ceiling idea, right? Like covering the ceiling in plants also.
That
So
could
just
be
look
like a
at-
soundproofing idea too.
Yeah, we were thinking about that for like we're thinking about getting moss behind here,
Yeah.
so it's like a
Cool.
soundproofing
That would be dope.
That would be
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah,
That'd be awesome.
yeah. No, that's cool. Why nature? What was the draw?
This is something that definitely it's calms me down. Like it's also something I grew up with. So
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
Yeah, I think being out of nature just reminds us being young, just playing football.
yeah, we all have this.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
calm.
Exactly, and it's now fit, and now it fits with the indoor, you know,
Yeah,
like the tree vibe. So I like it.
I imagine this is, I don't know if this is interesting for listeners, but I imagine it's going to be difficult in a studio with no light. Or do you guys have windows?
We have windows.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
That's always the biggest complaint. Like you come out of the studio after 6 hours, 8 hours of just straight working, and you just like,
like
you
2
just feel
p.m.,
so
you're like-
gnarled and like, ugh. And then if you have plants in that space or just like a really breathing light
Yeah.
space, you're gonna come out much more refreshed and probably able to do more work.
Oxygenated.
Yeah, it's just gonna be too much oxygen.
Oh yeah.
And
Shit. What if it blows up, man? What if we have too many plants?
Get some chickens in there.
Shit.
And Julius, you mentioned you started with saxophone.
Yep.
I guess it was probably alto that you started with?
I started
Or-
with soprano.
Oh, were you like little and that's
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Oh, damn.
I was boy.
Are you doing other instruments? I guess you're doing other instruments as well, by the way you guys
Yeah.
have talked about it.
I love piano for sure.
Mhm.
Love that in the way that I can be the whole band myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to be a solo instrument. And guitar, drums. Yeah.
I guess probably bass as well. If it's guitar, it's
Yeah,
like
a little bit.
transferable
Yeah, sure,
skills a
sure.
little bit.
Yeah.
How did you find learning those different instruments, starting from saxophone, which I did the opposite. I learned
Mm-hmm.
other instruments, and then saxophone was the last thing. And it was very easy transferring those skills. But do you feel like for piano, it's a different like brain function, if that makes sense, where you're separating
kind
things
of.
differently? How did you find that switch?
I guess I just learned to explore in that. I was lucky we had a piano at home,
Right.
even though no one else played on it. So I had it for myself.
Nice.
Felt like it was mine then. And I taught myself how to play in a very
Okay.
weird way, not correct way, but
Yeah, I kind of like that. There's some musicians like Masego is like, I think famously like well taught, like self-taught, where it's like you don't have the boundaries of how to specifically do these things, especially with music theory if it's more production oriented.
yeah.
Where you have more freedom, you can just kind of. Or Jimi Hendrix is that's a much better example, where he played it guitar like very wrong, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, one of all-time best.
I would say like movies, a lot of movies, maybe games, whatever. Like just trying to find that melody that you've been singing on all day, having in your head, and just trying to remember and like
Yeah.
that's so cool.
yeah.
Playing things the wrong way, that's how I learned guitar as well.
Mm.
Like I would play chords wrong, but I'd be like, no, this is my G major. But then it was like actually a G7 without the without like the pinky on the top, which was stupid. But if it gets you to be excited about playing instruments, then that's great. But I also feel like, do you think that coming from a non-musical family pushed them more to make you get into music? I mean, you said you were put into a musical school. Do you think it was pressured, or was it just very like, go and explore, here are all the tools?
I guess so. I guess they figure out pretty early that I was not the typical school smart guy. Like, I mean, I'm my parents, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like a good chill school to have something extra to do than just school, right? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then why did you guys choose to move to Berlin?
Oh, really spontaneous decision. Like, kind of didn't know what to do with my life. And then I like just figured out I like to make music, and this could be actual like, you know, journey. Like you can get a work with this. I started like just
Like it could be an
researching.
option. Yeah.
Exactly. And like if it could be an option, why not? That would be the best possible option. Like and it's super close to Warsaw. Like that's actually good for me.
Nice.
And also because in Warsaw there wasn't any good school with music production. There's mostly school with just live engineering. Yeah.
Okay.
And Julius, what country are you from?
I'm from Sweden.
Massive music scene, lots and lots of
Yep.
stuff going on there. Why did you choose to move away from that to Berlin? Which there's lots going on here as well, but it's a different environment.
For sure. I was planning on doing that too. I grew up in Stockholm, and this is where I studied my whole life. And I guess even though they have amazing schools there too, even for free, so I decided that it would be nice to try out a new city, and move somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, felt like Berlin could be the cool place.
Yeah. Do you see yourself staying here long term as well, or kind of going between the two?
Yeah,
Going between the two.
yeah, both. Yeah,
Because I imagine you're also a little bit tied in. Whether the studio is like, it's a big deal to have a shared space. So yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting kind of thing to have to deal with, I guess.
Yeah, I can very easily get home. I can be
Very true.
spontaneously. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice.
And Cuba, what about you for Poland? Do you feel like there's an opportunity there to create something that it doesn't really exist as much there, or do you think it is more valuable to thrive in the environment that's here?
I kind of want to stay here after BIM. So like I definitely like the city more. It's just like it's really inspiring for me, and because of the great minimal wage right now. And the free money we're getting from government. I love Germany. Yeah.
Completely opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nice.
Yeah, no, as you were just saying, it's the complete opposite to the two Scandinavian guys, where it's like we could be working in a grocery store and getting paid much better than we are now. Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing to balance, and there's also a lot of people that move here and they're like, oh, it's so cheap, and then people from especially Eastern Europe that move here and they're like, oh, this is so expensive, man. What?
Now it's the same. Now it's kind of the same. Like you go doing groceries, normal basic stuff. You go to Lidl here, you go to Lidl in Poland, and you pay basically the same price right now. But
Inflation.
earning way less in Poland, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, and do you guys see the studio growing to other locations? Obviously, this is super early on, but in terms of like the ideal plan, do you guys see the studio growing to other locations or other cities, or what's the?
Yeah, we actually talked about it.
Yeah.
That like we have to be the Broken Bell. So like the Broken Bell is the place that we have the studio right now, and
Right.
it's the name of the main studio downstairs. And it's just like it's the perfect script, to own the place with
To
couple
slowly
rooms
grow.
and
take
in a
over.
better location probably.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
for now it's great.
Spread your roots.
Yeah. So we're coming up on 50 minutes, which is usually how long we record for. Do you want to quickly explain the opening dates, what you guys have available, like very quickly, and just not speed-wise, but short. And anything else you guys want to promote before we finish
I
it?
want to hop on the mic.
yeah.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
good.
Come on.
Yeah, you can come on.
You just fuck off.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I'm gonna drop a single where Liliadi took walk to. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Go follow. All the stuff will be in the description, by the way. So go check it out.
POP, hold it down. Whoa! This mic is definitely nicer than the left
That's
one.
my mic, actually.
The settings on this one is very good. I have to say, any future guests on the right side, okay, that's the one.
Yeah.
We're going to release the studio, open it to the masses during summer. It's a little bit unspecific for the time being, but when this episode is out, then our Instagram will be up at TreeTone Studios. Follow it and await greatness.
We're going to be the first ones to follow it.
Well, if
Yeah.
not, then I know where you live now. next podcast, I'll just come over here and piss on the table.
That's going to finally be our clip that does really
Fuck.
well.
That's going to go viral.
Also, one thing that I thought about, guys.
Yeah.
Why do you not have an intro tune?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Because-
hey, yo, don't sign that. Or like, are you sure you want to sign that? Have you read the terms and agreements?
We were thinking about it for season 2 because we started it and we didn't have one. And then Anton, our editing guy,
It's like, yeah.
just turned the clap into like this logo comes up and then goes away with the different claps.
Right.
And then it just kind of became a thing. And when
That's
season
kind of
2
a
rolled
fun
around,
thing.
we were like, let's just go with it and just keep it.
Because even my dad does porn fucking podcast. They even have like a bounce. Wow, wow.
Yeah, but that seems very specific.
No, it would be, I think now we have a noise clip from you. Thank you very much. Just now for when
Yeah,
people
yeah,
cuss,
yeah.
and if we have to do if we have to, for some reason, take out swear words, we can have, don't sign that.
Don't sign that right now. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take all of the snippets that you guys said, make a sample pack.
Hey, let's go.
Yo.
Do you know what? 25% and then I'm fine with it.
Collaboration with
Yeah, more than that, yeah.
TreeTone Studios.
Awesome. Well, thank you very, very much. Go follow TreeTone Studios.
Hell yeah.
Follow us
You
as
just
well.
come in,
We'll be
come.
updating you too.
Yeah, wait.
Come on in.
Yeah, come in the picture.
Family photo.
Yes.
It's a
Alright,
thumb.
guys.
Wait, come down
Yeah.
because it's not in
Oh
frame.
yeah, fuck. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, come to TreeTone Studio, guys. Follow us on Instagram. It's going to be in the description, okay? Click it, follow, like, and do all the stuff for these guys too. Shit. What a wonderful
Beautiful.
job, guys. Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.